Knights Academy. Training's in session.
So Robert is going to be late today, so I will just fill him in and ask questions as I need to via phone because of the concert he's going to be at for his fiance's daughter. Family first. It's all good. But last week was a very intense episode. Saxon was missing, which is ironic because he was lying there dying for the start of it and was dead the second half of it due to an assassin's bolt that hit him.
Which I guess really doesn't matter that I was gone then, because I was unconscious the whole time.
Yeah, I just feel bad you didn't get to roll the death saves or your lucky.
It's all right.
So,
I'm over it.
Yeah, it was a very intense session. So, Warwick used his inspiration to try to help Vol with the rescue attempts of you. So,
Thanks, Warwick.
It was like an all-out thing. It was crazy. Zach got there just in time to hear. Got there just in time to hear Bones say, "He's dead. He ain't a dragon."
The important bits.
So it was.
As far as I know.
So, yes, so that all happened. The last gaming session ended with Grook actually getting a resurrection set up, but due to Saxon's soul being attached to a great old one because of his warlock levels, his soul isn't as easily retrievable as others are. So, because of this, they're sending the three, Vol, Brooke, and Zach, into kind of an astral plane situation with an arcane caster during the ritual in order for you all to attempt to bring Saxon back, bring his soul back. They don't know what to expect. They don't know what's going to happen there exactly. They said reassuringly that it shouldn't affect you physically when you come out.
Affect like Saxon or them?
Them.
Oh, okay.
It shouldn't. But, they've never done a ritual like this specifically. So, it is a little bit of a risk, but the reward will be Saxon. So, is that something you still want to undertake?
When did someone send a rescue party where there was no danger?
Well, the rescue party is being sent because if you don't, there's no resurrection. They'll try to resurrect him and his souls just won't come back.
Yeah, but what I'm saying, there's always something to kill a rescue party.
Oh, yeah. Always.
Now I get what you mean.
I mean, why would you need a rescue party if it wouldn't be dangerous? He could have went or sent a retainer,
That is
Also, it's D&D. Like, boring-ass story if they just show up, they're like, "Hey, Saxon, you want to come back?" And he's like, "Sure, why not?" Oh,
Sure,
God.
why not? I'm bored.
Sure, why not? I'm bored.
Actually, I'm wondering if I shouldn't be tied up for this. Just
Why?
In case he goes psycho.
In case they're wrong and, what happens inside does translate into the real world, well, into the material plane, in which case nobody knows what's going to go on once we're in there. So it might be better just in case.
They can restrain you if you really wish. Although your mind will not be in the body, like regardless, whenever they do an astral projection like this, your body does not move. It's just your mind. So,
I prefer it just to be on the safe side.
okay.
Just tell them to be 60 feet away from you.
Except for the three bodies that are, next to him.
Sure.
Which is you, one of them.
Yeah.
So,
Which would be a terrible shame.
That would I can double dash.
It would be a terrible shame.
It'd be a heck of a way for the party to wipe.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe someone will get possessed.
That would definitely be entertaining.
For
me. So, give me 1 second. I'm just making sure I have everything set up before we start.
Matt, did you get the whisper?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
So,
What?
I said one small change from what we talked about, but I'll inform you when we get to it.
Okay.
All right, so the ritual, they have it laid out by the time you guys come in. Saxon's body is in the middle, and you three are in like a triangle form around him. One horizontal across his head, and two laying kind of diagonal on the sides of him. A good about roughly 10 feet apart each, forming a pretty good thing. There's circles all the way around, chalked onto the floor. There's lit incense in the room. On Saxon's forehead, they have a diamond, the one that they had to procure for the ritual. That will be consumed in order for his soul to return. Everything is set up, as well as the pedestals that you guys are going to be laying on, which are basically makeshift tables that they've set up, have additional runes where your heads are going to lay for the astral projection that they're going to be doing. There is a mage there, as well as the cleric. They are both very somber when you enter. They motion to the table for each one of you. Is there any one of you three that feel you are closer to Saxon? If you are, you must take the head.
That's got to be Zach.
Why me?
Because I feel like that's the most vulnerable position.
What? No, I'm not taking that.
Oh.
I mean, it's complicated.
The argument should be, I don't think any of us are close to Saxon.
Actually, if nobody volunteers...
Well, that depends. For example, Grok paraded your body around the city while you were gone, trying to resurrect you.
I mean, yeah, but it's
He
not
literally did.
necessarily
He just kind of
because I
threw you
think
over
we're
his shoulder and started
close.
going temple to temple.
Oh, well,
So
I mean,
he might be the one.
Well, I'm not going to bother with a fucking cart or something. That's a waste of time.
Dog, break out your dead.
But I'm not dead yet.
Not close enough. You will be by the time you get there.
Oh, man, I have to watch that movie again. Speaking of which, I still have 10 minutes left in Mazes and Monsters. It got really busy, and I'm frustrated. I'm like, I'm right at the last end of it.
You've seen it, though, right?
I'm pretty sure of it, but I can't remember the end. I remembered bits and pieces in the middle. So
Because, like, I know Andy and Mathilde, at the very least, I was there and Steph was there. I can guarantee you that, and I'm fairly certain you and Kranz were as well.
like I said, it's probably one that I saw, but I don't remember the end, so I'm counting it as not a scene. So
Okay.
I have to finish watching it, because I'm... It is hilarious, though, the assumptions they make.
Well, it
It's
was made in the early '80s when everyone was scared of people who played D&D.
It's the logical conclusion for the next step of the game, evolution of the game. I'm like, no, it's not.
Obviously.
So, but yeah, it's anyway, 10 minutes left, so I'll finish it tonight. But
Okay.
that's neither here nor there. So, Gruck, did you offer to take it? If not, Vol will.
No, Bull can take it.
All right, Vol will take the head spot. So, his
I'm so
argument
sad
being
he
that-
isn't here.
So am I. Actually, he probably would honestly vote, do that, because in the party, I do have to say I think Vol is Saxon's strongest ally. Not just, actually physically, because he's strong, but he's the biggest supporter of Saxon so far.
Stupid. Stupid choice.
To tell you the truth, he's the best supporter for all of us.
It's true.
For everyone.
He's a good paladin on that one. Even if he is an
He's
Oathbreaker.
just that one guy who you can't really hate.
He's just a lovable fool.
Yeah.
So, all right. So they get everybody laid down. The ritual starts. As they start to chant, the room darkens. You can feel your eyes getting heavy, as you can feel. It almost feels like a presence is entering inside your body and trying to pull you out.
Oh, I hate magic.
Will save! Will save! Make a will save.
And you can to fight it if you want to, but they told you to, accept it. But
Accept it.
accept it. Let it pull you from your soul, or soul from your body. So
That doesn't sound bad at all.
everything goes completely dark, completely silent. All of your senses stop. It is very odd having no senses working. Very disconcerting. Time seems to fade. It feels like hours pass. The whole ritual is not supposed to take over an hour. It feels like hours, almost days, pass. When all of a sudden you guys start first to hear. Boom, 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 boom.
As in a bell or
More like a giant drum beating. The next sense that comes back to you is the sense of taste. Your mouth feels like it's full of iron. Has that taste to it. And the smell starts to come. It's hard to describe the scent on it. It's very...
Well, that's your
Upfront.
job, Matt. Figure it out.
I don't know how to... I don't know sense of the smell, though. I don't smell everything, remember? Because of my sinuses. So it's very affronting. Almost offensive, the smell of it. You recognize the scent, though. As, well, Gruck, you've carved people up before. It does have a very similar scent to, organs. The...
Salty. It smells like iron.
Smells like iron? Okay, see, I never smelt that situation, so... without
why do you know that?
tons of stuff being around.
It's... Well, like, the assumption would be that human carcasses, the insides, smell much like animal carcasses, the insides, and I have cleaned animals for food before.
Okay.
Hunting. I have not.
No, I'm sold. I just didn't know that.
And
No, actually, you see, the truth is, I've actually, in real life, gutted about 37 people. Hey, NSA, that's a fucking joke.
Yeah,
It's like 34.
give it like 5 minutes. We're gonna hear banging on his door as the FBI comes in and starts arresting him.
Well, John, you're gonna have to go to work tonight.
Well, at least you get the heads up.
Have fun in Gitmo. I'll take the overtime.
No, they'd have to have hard evidence before they could do that. All right, so after you've gotten those three senses, you start to feel heat. Very warm, very humid. And last, your eyes start to open. You look around. You're in a long hallway, about 20 feet wide. Lower ceiling, only maybe about 10 feet. It curves, a nice arch on either side. The room is very unique. The floor is spongy. Almost feels like, well, and looks like human remains. Just meat everywhere, intestines, stuff like that. The walls have these beautifully carved pillars that wrap in a perfect curve up to a center beam that goes along. The runes look vaguely familiar, As in they are of arcane in origin, so if you have knowledge arcane, you can roll on them. At disadvantage. Okay. They are definitely arcane runes, you're sure of that. You recognize a couple of them, but there's many of them that you do not. You are pretty sure they are necromantic in origin, but that's about the best you can get from that check. The drumming continues to persist. The room is dark where you are, except for where you can see close by. You all have dark vision here, regardless of magic items, so you can see about 60 feet away. And it feels like it's expanding as you're looking down. You can see the room seems to cave in a little bit, almost curve in, and a little door is at the far end. As you guys almost impulsively start to walk that direction, the drumming sound is just intensified and quickened. Liquid seems to be pouring from the roof in places, dripping in a thick red fashion. Eventually you'll get up to the door. The hallway felt much larger than it was, and the door is much smaller. It's only about 2.5 feet tall, with a normal size handle on it though. What do you do?
Five seconds here and I already hate this place. That's remarkable.
Not terribly surprising, though.
I was hopeful.
What did
Maybe-
you think it was going to be? Disneyland?
That's what I just wanted to say. Maybe inside he was just sunshine and rainbows, you know? You must always have that one little thought.
That would have been almost more freaky to have, like, unicorns dancing around.
Yeah, and he was all smiles, riding one big pony.
Little flowers dancing around.
That would have been the most creepiest thing that I've ever seen.
Sounds like a nightmare more so than this does.
Yeah.
Just damn right.
So,
This just sounds like a fun place to spend a weekend. That sounds like hell.
And we all would have had that one thing that we will never talk about. That one trip.
so what do you do?
It's your choice. I'm not touching that knob.
That's what she
I mean,
said.
it's either that or we're staying right where we're at, so let's
Giggity.
open the door.
Alright, you reach down, grab the knob, you can feel a prick on your finger. And that was not a bad reference, actually, on the previous joke I made. No, like a pinprick. And you can feel it. It pierces your skin very quickly. And you, like, as you turn the knob, it happens. And you pull your hand away, and you can see a single drop of blood hit the door. And it opens for you. Zach, it still hasn't opened.
What are you doing? Just open the damn door. Don't just touch it. Stop fondling it. Just open it. It had to be done.
So you're telling me this door is not open?
I'm telling you that you look like a creep just touching the damn door knob.
I'm gonna walk through the door.
Well, you can't walk through the door, actually, because it is so small. You will have to crawl through it.
Well, right.
Okay. So you'll get down on your hands and knees and crawl through the door. You watch him crawl through the door, literally. Vol shrugs,
Gotta-
and before you have a chance to do anything, actually reaches down, does the same thing.
You gotta be kidding me. Why does everything have to be magic? Touch the door and open it.
Alright, and again, get the little prick of blood, drop of blood on there, opens, you have to crawl through the door.
I hate magic.
It's going to be a chant with Zach. So you come into this other room. It is, first off, a little jarring. It looks like this hallway goes on forever. A perfectly constructed hallway. There is many doors you can see on either side. The hallway itself is huge. Absolutely huge. Probably about a 30-foot cube, or square, going all the way down. And the most disconcerting part is the 30-foot tall Warwick, who is just looking down at you as you come up and crawl up through the opening and look back. There's no opening behind you. You literally look like you've been crawling for a while. And you're looking up at a 30-foot tall Warwick. His head is scraping the very top of this hall.
And he's looking down at us.
Just looking down at you all.
Hey, Warwick. How's it going?
You know, same shit, different day.
You gotta be kidding me.
Is it actually you? Or
Are you serious, Matt?
Yes, I am. When you talked to him and you said, "Hey, Warwick, how's it going?" and he starts to answer, he starts to shrink a little bit. Actually, I'd say about roughly 1/3 of his size.
When what happened? When he asked what?
when I asked him a question, as he answered it, he shrunk in size.
Oh, that's a dick move, Matt.
It really is. But I didn't expect him to come through and ask a question right away.
Making the obvious implication that we have a limited number of questions. That
either that or each time he lies, he shrinks.
I mean, it could mean a lot of things.
So, where is Saxon's soul?
Follow me.
Never mind.
I have to ask. Am I supposed to be getting these whispers?
No.
Okay, I was wondering.
It's because you have Saxon as a tag. Hold on a second. That explains that. I'm glad nothing too bad has been said yet.
No, I didn't
yeah,
know
no
was,
kidding.
I didn't know that would happen.
Neither did I, actually, so lesson learned. Anybody that plays Roll20 out there, just remember that if you whisper somebody and they're tagged on the sheet, they're going to hear it too.
Thank you, Matt. Thank you, John, for saying something.
I could have blown the shit out of this.
Yeah, you really could have.
Alright, so there, I got you off of it. So, as he starts to walk down the hall, he goes about, well, it's kind of hard to tell, there's no sense of really space in this place, and he turns in through a door, and you guys follow. The room opens up at this point, where you can see it's a much larger room, and it immediately starts going down some stairs. You look forward, and you can see another set of stairs going up at an angle in a different way, and another in a different way. Has anybody seen an Escher painting here?
Not sure, but I'm pretty sure I know what you're talking about. I think I've seen it before in different games and movies.
Yeah, they're pretty famous.
Yes, Escher Staircase is what it's called. It's a very similar feel to this. And let me just get an image to show you.
Oh, I see.
You found it?
Wasn't there an example of that in Nightmare on Elm Street?
Yes. In the Dream Child.
Yeah.
Dream Child.
So there you go. There's a link to it if you wanted to look at it. It's very similar to that, where there is no spatial reality here.
Was it Dream Child?
You're the expert.
I was somebody was chasing a kid.
That doesn't narrow it down for Nightmare.
It was either Dream Child or New Nightmare. I'm fairly certain it's Dream Child.
It was I mean, like a legitimate child. There weren't that many in Nightmare on Elm Street, were there? Most of them were teenagers.
No, some were teenagers. No, I'm pretty sure it's Dream Child. but it could have been New Nightmare. It's been a while since I've seen them. Please don't scratch out my horror rep.
So, you're actually very grateful at the moment that Warwick's leading because you immediately realize how easily it'll be to get lost in this labyrinth of non-reality. Warwick has not said anything else since you guys have gone, unless Warwick wants to say something. Warwick?
No, not really.
Okay. He seems to be leading you somewhere.
For the moment, I will simply follow.
Where are we going and why do we trust him?
Are you asking Warwick that, or are you asking Gruck that?
Grok.
Okay. Because, yeah, the reality does get that much.
Because at the moment, what choice do we have?
Well, there's
Yeah.
always exploration.
I mean, yeah, but that could take ridiculous amounts of time.
Depends.
And besides, we're basically exploring now anyway. If nothing else, this will give us a baseline. We might as well
Yeah,
see
but
what
it may be a trap.
we got just as good a chance of walking into one if that's the case anyway. Like, theoretically, are in the mind of a compatriot. Maybe he's just going to kill us. But if that's the case, it doesn't make any difference whether we follow something or not. If he wants to kill us, he's going to kill us.
Yeah, but it will be more reassuring to just stumble upon a trap than just be led into it by someone.
We're inside his mind. Can you consider anything we do stumbling into anything and not being led?
I don't know.
We could pick a door, and the other side of that door is going to be whatever he wants it to be, because we're in his mind.
Yeah, but then that would mean we have no choice. But there's a difference.
Full scratch.
I feel like
head trying to figure this all out.
So we don't have a whole lot of choice anyway.
Yeah, but you will never
if
think about it like
opportunity
this.
to make a choice comes up, I imagine it's going to come up whether we follow this, example of Warwick or not.
Think
So
about it
what's
like
the marching
this.
order? Just curious, real quick, before you continue your talk.
Well, especially based on the conversation, I'm assuming that I'm first behind Warwick, and then I don't know.
I'll be after Grok.
Alright, Cole will be last.
I would rather know if I have free will or it's just an illusion,
Roll an insight check.
I
On
assume
what?
you have. I assume you have,
I'm
like.
talking to Zach on that one, so.
15?
Okay. Zach, you should always remember Saxon's main thing that he always seems to try to do is remain in control at all times. Do you really think if you get into his mind, he's going to give you any kind of free will whatsoever? If he wanted you dead, you'd probably be dead now.
Debatable. He's a prideful prick. What do you want from me?
Non-magic users, they think they're so tough.
I wish I would have made him an assassin. That would have been so awesome.
I like him as a mastermind, though. So. Warwick turns through another door, and Gruck, as you go through the door, you catch movement out of the corner of your eye, and you look up to it, and on the stairway, you can see Zach and Vol walking through a door frame. You look back behind you, they're still right behind you. You look up, you still see them until they enter the door frame and they disappear. Of course, they're still behind you,
Sounds like the movie The Cube.
Yeah.
Kind of.
A shitty sci-fi movie that was only on Sci-Fi. I watched it.
It's a low budget. It's a low budget Canadian movie.
Oh,
So yeah.
I'm actually enjoying a lot of Canadian movies recently, and Australian movies. They're actually been better than Hollywood, in my opinion.
That one's shitty sci-fi movie.
Canadians are doing a really good job lately. Indie films that are coming out of like not Hollywood are fantastic of late.
Yeah.
Like, The Battery is probably one of the best zombie movies of the past like 15 years, not made by George A. Romero.
The reason I say Australia, there's been a lot of really good Australian shows, actually, believe it or not. From Australia.
Oh yeah.
A lot of Netflix shows have been, originals have been from there. Anyway, I digress. Let us not break the moment, which
sorry.
I already did. So, you guys continue following them. Time does not seem to matter. We continue to have these strange instances of seeing you guys here and there. Sometimes off in the distance you can see yourself. When you look up, you see a never-ending thing of different staircases. Down is never-ending staircases.
He's gonna start whistling.
Warwick is whistling.
What's he whistling?
Nothing in particular.
It's just one constant sound.
Is it a legitimate repetitive tune? Or is he
What's that one from
nonsense?
Kill Bill? You know the one Ellie Driver whistles in Kill Bill?
Yeah, I can't place it right now, though. Yeah, that's it.
Something like that.
Oh, that's the Out of Joy, I think.
Yeah.
So.
Oh no. Huh?
Occasionally, Warwick pauses, looks down one hallway, looks down another one, goes down it. You guys have questions you can ask still.
I mean, I still wonder if the implication from the first question that I asked is, going to result in us losing this guide, even if, nobody else thinks of it as a guide. I would prefer not to.
The bloody song. I found it.
We eat too many sunflower seeds, otherwise I could whistle it.
What's a super
Mouth is
easy
too
way to
dry.
tell that you're
There you go. I forgot how fucking epic the soundtrack in that movie is.
It's frustrating. That song.
You have to kind of ask yourself, is Warwick being a guide, or is he just walking you in circles waiting for you to finish asking him the questions?
Have I been walking in circles?
You actually have lost all sense of space and reality in here.
I'm going to every door that we go through. I'm going to mark it before we go in.
Every door is now marked.
That we go through.
No, like when you get to the next door, it's already marked.
Okay, he's walking us in circles.
Is there even such a thing as a circle here?
The door doesn't look the same every time. Every arch is different. But after you mark the first one, every single one of them has that line.
Okay, that's bullshit.
It's
You
the same
forget
thing
who
I
you're
said
dealing
before.
with.
We're inside his mind. Like what us choosing anything, it's whatever he wants it to be. It doesn't matter what we choose.
So what's the one thing that's actually had like
Greg
because
knows
okay,
what to do. Greg just doesn't want to do it.
right, Matt, I'm just forgive me. I'm trying to give them hints inside Saxon's mind-ish instead of role-playing Warwick because I'm not really sure how to do that particular thing right now.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. It does. Actually, as you guys are walking along, one of the things that does start to happen is it starts off kind of slow at first. It sounds like whispers, but they're undistinguishable. I can't say the word. You cannot recognize what is being said. You can just hear that they are being said. And it sounds like one voice, and then two, and then three. Over time, it is multiplied into several voices whispering, just at the edge of consciousness.
Saying what?
You can't understand the words. You can just hear the whispers.
Does it come from one direction?
Nope.
Amazing. Now I have voices in my head. Fuck.
Zach's gonna come out of this with a mental illness.
There you go. What it's
already
like
have
to be Saxon at all times.
Hearing voices.
What'd you say, Gruck?
I said, didn't he already?
You definitely do get the strong urge that you should ask questions.
Oh, I know.
Warwick seems like he's waiting.
And given the size reduction, you guess you have 2 questions left.
Okay, how do we get to Saxon Soul?
There's a question.
Ask the next one.
So our response to the question is ask the next one. Huh.
Well, okay, hang on. Let me phrase that better.
Yeah.
Well, because I'm already wondering if I have an idea of what that means, but maybe not.
Keep.
What was his response to the first thing I said? As soon as I walked in, because it's like, oh, hey, work, how's it going?
He said it's going well. As he shrank, basically.
Mm-hmm. Okay, how do we get to Saxon Soul? You have to earn it.
As he says that, he shrinks again. He's now down to a little bit shorter than the average human in size.
Don't say it like that. You make it sound like I want to own the damn thing.
At this point, he's just going to probably stop, turn around, and look at you guys. And wait.
I could message Vol and ask if he wants to ask Warwick anything.
Good.
Let's see if he
What time did he say he was going to be back?
8.
Oh, okay.
That's how many hours? Or
That's a half
hour
hour
from now.
okay.
If you guys come up with a question beforehand, that's fine.
How?
Doesn't count.
Why?
Or how to... Oh, wait, no, that actually would be an appropriate question, since he did just say you had to earn it.
How do you earn it?
Keep going and convince him to come back.
As he answers this one, he shrinks down to the normal size he's at, points to the next door. As he continues to shrink and just out of existence. You look through that door now, which before was staircases and hallways and all the stuff that you've been seeing. You look through it now, it's actually a room, and it is filled with doors. Actual doors. Most of these have been archways you've been walking through. These are actual doors.
So it's like a corridor full of doors?
Kind of. More like a hallway, but yeah. Our corridor would work still. More of a big room, honestly. There's several. The two walls each have 4 doors, and then the one that's furthest from you guys, the one you're looking at, has 5 doors on it.
Are there any markings on the doors?
When you guys approach them, yes, there is. Each one of them has a sign hanging on it. By the way, after you guys enter this room, there's no exit to this room except for these doors now. So, each one of them has a sign hanging on it, and it says a different word. Peasants. Nobles. Council. Seaport. World. Dragons. Violet. Warwick. Ambrosia. Gruck. Vol. Zach. And Saxon. As you guys are looking at these, you can see writing appear on the floor for one moment that says choose only one. The whispers are becoming louder. Not because you can understand what they're saying, just more whispers on top of whispers. It's getting hard to actually start concentrating at this point. Even talking to one another is becoming difficult, although not impossible. So you guys have to choose one door.
Well, which door do you think we should choose there, Zach?
You want me to give you guys the list?
Yeah. I want to try something, but I can already see it fucking up. I wanna try and quiet down the voices. Can I make an intelligence saving throw?
Yeah, it basically is a will save to just kind of drown them out a bit, actually.
Can I make an intelligence saving throw?
It's a will save, or a wisdom saving throw.
I don't need it anymore then.
Okay.
I wanted to use intelligence for something. You never use intelligence saving throws for anything.
That is true.
This might be a worthwhile time to use an intelligence saving throw.
Okay. If Saxon has an idea, go for it.
Mm.
I don't like his ideas.
That's totally fine.
You don't have to, but you want
Yeah,
to.
you really don't have to.
1.
You're pretty sure that means you each get to pick one.
I told you I have a bad feeling about it. I really need to get lucky.
Yeah, you really do.
But I don't. I have too many ideas that I want to do with this character.
Matt, for the record, this might actually be a spot where you're going to want Vol in here too. Because, you know.
Well, we'd have to wait another 25 minutes-ish till it's done, plus the drive home. So
That's fair.
let's
Screw
just
him,
keep
then.
going on. Yeah, I will send this to him. I would love for him to be here, but Yeah. So you two can discuss
Now-
amongst yourselves if you guys have an idea.
I do have to admit something that I'm curious about, Zach. It surprises me that there would be separate doors for peasants and nobles. I'm surprised Saxon didn't consider everybody a peasant.
Interesting insight.
True.
Actually, well done, sir. Greg, roll an insider intelligence or something.
Insight.
Can I give him advantage?
Unfortunately, in this situation, no.
Good enough. These are strands of what Saxon intends for the future.
Doors
And he's
he-
giving you
I would say
doors
doors
each
he hopes to open.
doors that he hopes to open, and he's giving you guys a chance to peek through them. But you only get to choose one. So it may not necessarily be that Saxon sees peasants and nobles in a whole big different situation, but that in order to do something, they have to be separated, and he's making this more, what's the word I'm looking for? Accessible to you guys.
Right.
So is there
Okay.
anyone there that gets your curiosity peaked more with that?
Oh, there's plenty there that does. But I'm also debating on whether or not to just go pure selfishness here.
And go through Gruck?
Nope.
But what?
Honestly,
What do you desire?
honestly, I'm gonna be honest right here. As a DM, I don't know what's behind these doors. Pink and I are working together on this game until you guys have figured this all out. I actually don't even know how this session's gonna end, truthfully, which is kind of exciting for me. I would love to open a couple of those doors, so I'm anxious to see what you guys pick.
Matt, I'm going to go use the restroom right quick. Feel free to discuss amongst yourselves.
I mean, OOC, the doors that I want to open are Council, Dragons, and Violet.
Those are good ones.
Now I'm thinking,
I personally think Saxon would be one of the more interesting ones to open.
I mean, maybe, but it could just be an image of him, like hovering over the universe like the evil guy in Star Fox 64.
Don't think that's his goal, but, he may be like the face. Or the hand, or whatever it was. I don't remember which one it was now.
Well, I am all up for dragons.
Well, I figured you would be, but that's like, of the ones I'm curious about the most, that's the least of the three. Maybe.
Let's see if John or if he has any input from Vol.
Violet Council and dragons, did you say? Rock?
No, that's what I said. What do you think?
Not really interested in Violet.
I don't think you even know who Violet is in character.
Yeah, but doesn't mean anything to me, really. I don't know who Violet is out of character. That's how much it means to me.
Oh. Hey, welcome back.
Hey.
Alright, so just to fill you in real fast, I'll catch you up on the question earlier, but fill you in real fast. You guys have been walking through an Escher-style painting of staircases. For a while, asking Warwick questions. Every time you asked a question, he grew smaller. After 3 questions, he ushered you guys into a room full of 13 doors. Each door has a name on it. And the name, there's words written on the ground that says, choose only one. The names are peasants, nobles, council, seaport, world, dragons, violet, Warwick, ambrosia, Gruck, Vol, Zach, and Saxon. And you have had the insight so far that going through the door will be like going through the door in Saxon's mind and his plans for, or his hopes for, the future in that thing. You guys can choose one in the group.
He died.
Yeah. That's a shame. That was a really good explanation. Wonder how far I got before he disconnected. So, yeah.
So, what you wanna do?
What you wanna do? So, what you wanna do?
Well, I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm curious as to what his somewhat intentions, towards me are. But at the same time,
how much of that did you catch, Gruck?
The peasants, up to Violet.
Okay, so Violet, Warwick, Ambrosia, Gruck, Vol, Zach, and Saxon.
And we get to pick 3?
One. Between the group, one choice only.
I really want to look at my door.
Actually, that's been pretty much the answer on everybody so far. Although, you can fill them in now on what you were thinking. Gruck.
well, effectively speaking, all of us would easily be able to say that we're curious as to what's behind the door with our name on it. Because we can't look at all of them, then the most diplomatic way of choosing this is to pick something that doesn't have any of our names on it.
Yeah.
Now, that being said, I don't really care what he thinks about Seaport.
What'd you say, Matt?
I said keep your eyes on the road.
Yeah.
You don't need to look at us.
Well, I'm trying to hear because my speaker's not that loud for some reason.
Ah. Do you have an iPhone?
Yeah.
It's because it's actually on the headphone or the headset probably. Like if you hold it up to your ear, you might be able to hear better.
That's what I was doing. That's why I go like this for a second.
Okay. No, I mean it might be coming out the actual this part. Because you actually have to set it to speaker in Skype.
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
I turned speakerphone on though.
Yeah, it's not speakerphone. You have to do the slide up thing. Go to music. I don't know why the hell you have to go to music, and then you choose speaker in there.
I don't know.
It's a little funky. So I learned that with Skype the other day, and Discord does that too. So. So, yeah, right now, Gruck was saying he's thinking, what was it, Dragon Council and Violet?
Well, I'm definitely curious if this is going to give us insight as to his intentions, or a glimpse of his intentions. Then I'm extremely curious about his intentions for the Council, Dragons, and then of course Violet.
Zach has voted against Violet because he doesn't know anything about it, and has said he would like dragons. Do you have an input on those?
Who's Violet again?
Well, Violet doesn't really matter to you. Violet's the one that escaped from the ship and set the little halfling free.
That's what I thought. Okay,
Yeah.
I just want to make sure I remembered correctly. I'm really indifferent on whatever I get or whatever.
I mean, the other option of world is an interesting one as well.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, what? He most likely just wants world domination or something.
I don't like OOC. I don't think so. I don't know what his ultimate plan is, though. This is from me watching everything and trying to figure it out. He's not about domination so much over people, although he does see everybody as slaves. I think
He
he's
wants
more
to
about
dominate.
fear. I think he wants to scare the world.
I'm down with that.
But I don't know. Like I said, I don't know his overall intentions. So,
Why does he even have a door with dragons when they are extinct?
that's a good question right there, Zach.
And what was that bony guy talking about him not being a dragon? I think it's explanation time.
You're a dragon, Harry.
All right, Harry,
He's not a
dragon.
wizard anymore. He's a dragon. He got upgraded.
He leveled up.
Level 11 is quite the hitter.
Well, Zach's vote is obviously for dragons,
Obviously.
the dragon door. So, what are you
And no-
thinking?
Nobody seems to be answering your questions when you ask, Zach. Both Vol and Gruck just kind of,
Yeah, I'm like blatantly, obviously, I hear the question and I just kind of ignore it. I mean, it's not like I'm not scowling or anything. I'm just not answering.
What if we decided on my question?
No, your question. When you said when you made the something about Saxon and dragons, and you're like, it's explanation time. Like I looked at you, you spoke, and I just looked away and went back to thinking.
Well, you can be that way, but I'm going to start digging later.
I mean, that's fine.
And I'm not going to ask you.
Hey, if I
do what you got to do.
is that gonna cause problems?
nope.
What?
You're good.
So, what do you think? What do you think, Bull? We got one for dragon. Peasants, noble, council, seaport, world, dragon, violet, Warwick, ambrosia, and then technically Saxon. Those are doors that do not have our names on it.
I'll go in the world.
World, huh?
You're voting for World?
Yeah.
Do you mind if I ask why you have an interest in Saxon's interest in the world?
Because well, first off, the world involves us also.
Repeat that again, please.
The world involves you guys as well.
Good point.
What? Not connected.
Well, probably. There's no guarantee that his intentions to the world would include us.
Hey, Saxon, jump onto Discord.
Yeah.
I sent you a private message.
God damn it.
Sorry, I don't want to risk sending it on here because it's been splitting text up from the DM. So
No, I have to try to remember what my fucking Discord password is.
Oh, jeez.
The last time I tried to log into Discord, it locked me out.
Oh boy. I suppose I could send it in Skype instead if you'd rather.
There's probably a better option.
Yeah, I could probably be sold on world.
Zach?
Okay.
There we go.
At this point, it doesn't even matter. I have even more questions, so that's fine.
You're like, I can't wait till he comes back so I can ask him some damn questions.
No, I'm not going to ask anybody anything anymore.
If I just respond via Skype, it's not going to go to the group, right?
As long as it's in the one with just you and me. On
Okay.
the one I sent that to, you will be fine. All right. So you guys choose world.
Oh, we're
I
all going.
suppose so.
You
Okay.
get one world or one door. That's it for the group.
Oh shit! I thought we all got to pick one, and then each of us go in each one. Oh shit!
No, you guys get one door.
Well,
I'll
you got
change it.
yours.
Well, I thought Zach was gonna see stuff about dragons, Gruck was gonna see whatever, and then I was gonna see world, and then we could talk about all these things. Well, holy shit on a shit sandwich.
Come to the dragon team. We need people.
There's only three of you, so it's pretty easy to make a council decision unless you all are opposed. As long as two people agree, the choice has been made.
Then I'll stick with world.
So still world. Okay, let's go.
All right, so they open up world. Pink, this is on you.
What did we win?
Okay. How do I say this appropriately? Let me know when you
Do I
can
need
read
to-
that.
All right.
Me?
Go ahead, just start
Do you-
talking.
Okay. As soon as you guys enter,
It's
it's
actually the. All right, almost forgot a part here. So you guys grab the door for world and turn the knob and start to open it. And as it starts to open, all the other doors turn to shadow and drop onto the floor, just like almost like liquid falling onto the floor. And you can see them all moving to the center of the room very quickly.
Creepy.
And it's hard to ignore it, but as it does, it starts to coalesce into a creature very quickly. In fact,
Is it Tupac?
No, it's not
Tupac.
Tupac actually.
That's true. How he does? Why doesn't he have a door for Tupac? Didn't he say that he has he wants to make an army of Tupacs or something?
No, he was suggesting that for you.
Oh, I don't want an army of Tupacs.
That's probably what I was suggesting for you.
There's only one Tupac.
There's one Tupac.
Alright, let's see. On the side, far side, the creature starts to coalesce. You see very quickly 4 large legs appear into a torso. A tail starts to appear as a long snake-like neck starts to protrude the other side. And wings start to unfold as a dragon manifests in a shadowy form in front of you.
I was expecting a winged Hydra.
Can't we just walk through the door? That we
The
open?
door won't open more than the crack it is opened.
See, Zach? There's your dragon. You got it.
Come on, man. Entertain yourself. We got.
I
shit
had
to do.
dragons, not dragon. Plural.
And over on this side, you'll see tokens here for you guys. So,
Yeah.
Hold on, I'm still logging into Roll20.
okay.
What the shit?
Saxon, for a moment, you do have the access to Vol's character sheet if you want to roll initiative for him, please.
Party loot, spell scrolls, maze, one away. Saxon, Warwick. Well,
I can do it now. Oh,
Okay.
or not.
okay, never mind. Go ahead.
Oh, by the way, that is something that Gruck says out loud. Oh, come on, man. Entertain yourself. We got shit to do.
You said initiative, right?
Yes.
Natural 20.1. Really?
God
Really?
damn, son.
Really?
Really.
Where's our characters at? There we go. Okay. This is cool. Yeah, this will play.
Looks like a map. It's weird.
And Jesus wept for the world. Where no more worlds to conquer.
What the hell?
We're fighting in the heavens above Seaport.
What the hell? What the hell?
My computer just froze.
Oh, okay. You're just sitting there like. So.
You look grumpy.
And you both
Me?
have
I'm in
frozen on
pain,
it.
dude.
No, the way the picture froze.
Yeah. Like literally, you look like Grumpy from the Seven Dwarves when you see it. All right, so we'll get to this part.
A dragon pops
The
up.
dragon coalesces. The door has frozen shut. Well, frozen with just a crack open. It looks around, smiling, as it just with one claw goes right at Gruck, who was the one opening the door.
Can he still rage?
We don't know.
I guess technically we're about to find
We're
out.
about to find out.
Go sleep, go sleep, go sleep, go sleep, go sleep, go sleep.
Bam! Hits you right across. And as it does that, it looks over at Vol and smiles. And looks back over at Gruck. So, yeah, 25 damage as it hits you.
25 damage.
25?
Yeah,
26?
or 15, sorry.
Well, okay, I was gonna be like, what am I missing
Oh,
here?
that's where you rolled. Okay, never mind.
Yeah. So it does hit you there. It smiles over, looks back at you, Gruck, as another claw comes at you. For another 11 damage. And yes, give me 2 wisdom saves.
What's really funny is he's like smiling, like, "Are you entertained?"
The second one is short.
It is short. Now, you've had this happen where you black out more and you just go into this rage. This one, it's unique. Because as it happens, you actually feel enlightened here. Empowered. You actually do go into a rage still, but you're gaining the benefits of rage as a barbarian here without the drawback of not being able to spellcast.
Huh.
So you may have to grab your player's handbook to find that out, what all that means for you right now.
Yeah.
So you basically just have resistance to anything non-magical.
You also get plus to your damage, and athletics checks and strength checks are all at advantage.
So you get a +2 to damage,
I think
basically.
+3. It's equal
No,
to his
that's
level.
higher level. Oh, okay.
Yeah, not just a level 1 barbarian, like his level. So, so after this, you will take less damage from the slashing attack, not the lightning.
No, +3 is level 9.
+3 is level 9. Okay, so a +2 damage. Vol.
I don't know what to do.
By the way, Saxon, if you want to refresh, because we have no picture for you,
Okay.
it would be a good time to do so during combat. There we
I
go.
guess
Got you back.
Is it? Okay.
I'll attack.
Yeah, you guys are all within 5 feet of this thing. Like, it fills the room. This is a large dragon. The room has seemed to shrink a little bit as you guys are opening that door. You're all within striking range, and yeah, there's nowhere to run, nowhere to hide.
Do our magical items still work here?
Yes.
Okay, well then. Attack him.
Do you say the word to make it bigger than a dagger first?
Oh, yep. Sorry.
Okay, I just had to ask. So you, boom, and you pull out your giant sword. It is, you are actually, you're good to attack. That hits as you cleanly sweep through him. You have had rest as well, so you are fully back to spells and everything like that too. So if you wanted to smite, you can.
I think I'll wait, but I'm gonna do another attack.
Okay. That will also hit.
And then I guess I don't know. I'll just end my turn. I guess. Actually, how tall is he?
It's a large-sized creature, so he's if he would like actually stand up, he would fill up the room more so. But with where he's at, you could actually get on his back if you really wanted to. He's slightly larger than a horse. Like, think like a Triceratops level, like about that size with wings.
Okay, can I do an acrobatics to climb on his back or athletics?
You can definitely attempt it. Athletics will be the key. You are not able to. As you do, his wing comes around and knocks you down. You skid back across the floor. You are prone. You can stand up still this turn because you have movement, but he does knock you away.
So how far back do I go?
You're still next to him. Like, basically, like, you get on and he knocked you behind him, so you're over here now.
Okay. And then can I just, like, tumble to stand up, or
Yeah.
can I just stand up? The standing up,
It's half your movement,
provoke.
which you still have, technically.
I know, but I mean, does standing up provoke attack of opportunity?
Not anymore.
Oh, okay, good. Never mind then.
Yeah, it used to. So, alright.
Well, I remember that was the big lesson when I first started playing with you guys. You're like, don't just stand up, tumble, and I'm like, okay.
Yeah. It was always fun.
Just stand up.
Alright, Zach.
Can I go around it and hide behind it?
There's really no place to hide specifically, but you guys do all have... you guys are 3-man flanking it, so you do have advantage, technically.
I don't necessarily want to hide behind something. I just want to break line of sight from him, basically.
Oh, he's facing Gruck. He's not facing you right now. He
So
actually doesn't even seem to be
just
aware of you. He has only looked at Gruck and Vol. Has not even looked at you.
I don't know if I want to poke it then.
I run to the restroom real quick. I'll be
Go for
right back. Okay.
I mean, maybe if I poke it, will see me and it'll try to bite me.
That's possible.
He pokes it. It doesn't even look at him. Puny man.
I can't believe I almost forgot about the fun combat here.
That's true. I thought it was going to be after they opened the door, but
Nope.
that's cool.
I wanted it to be before like an Ernie thing, so.
Okay.
Alright, so Zach, what are you doing?
I'm gonna give instructions to Grok as a bonus action.
He already has advantage because you guys are all flanking it. There's 3-man flanking it, so.
Oh, so basically everyone has advantage?
Yeah.
I'm useless. I want to try and see if I can figure this thing out.
Yeah, this is the first time your character has ever seen a dragon. You've read about them in the past. It is far more terrifying in person than you could have imagined, though.
I've seen dragon barns.
Yes, you have. They're actually still very valuable. So what do you...
I even know draconic. Apparently.
That's the language of the arcane.
So what do I do?
What do you do?
Well, I want to try and figure this thing out.
Okay. What are you doing to do that?
I touch it.
Okay. So you just, like, touch it. It is moving, like, your hand kind of passes through it a little bit. It is still shadowy, although it does have a blue tint to it.
Okay. Does it seem like it takes any damage?
Not from you touching it, no.
No, from them.
Yes.
From Vol.
Oh yeah, no,
bashing
it definitely took it reacted to it. It jumped, like He even was almost climbing on it, but just touching it, like, for some reason, it's just shadow.
Can I
You gotta
walk
believe.
through it?
Can you what?
Walk through it.
You can try.
Well, you said that my hand just goes through, right?
Yeah.
I want to try and slowly go through it.
You will bounce off of it as you try to walk through it. Like, you'll hit a actual point.
Oh, excuse me.
I didn't see you there.
Sorry. That'll take up most of your, or a good 5 foot of your movement only. And at that point, you can see its head start to turn to look back at you.
Not me. I just want to figure things out. Don't mind me.
Persuasion?
Who am I?
At disadvantage?
I have a -1. I have a 0. I can feel something good brewing up.
Yeah, I'm sorry. What now? What is it you were saying?
I told you that I have a good feeling. He believes me, right?
So, yeah, he seems to believe you as he's starting to face you more.
Oh.
Now, he hasn't completely, so if you do attack him, you will still get your sneak attack, obviously. You have advantage, so it's okay. But, that's your choice, if you want to attack, or, try to hide behind somebody, I guess.
Does it seem damaged?
It does seem hurt, yes.
I'll stab it.
Gangsta stab.
What do you stab it with?
I have a silvered weapon.
Alright. So you're using your silvered rapier.
Basically. 21.
Draw it, and with that you're able to, as it does turn, you're able to get right between two of the scales, it looks like, and get a good little pierce through it for... Is that absolute minimum damage?
I didn't roll sneak attack yet.
Okay.
I mean...
Yeah, no,
the minimum damage will be like 7, I think.
Alright,
No,
ahead.
8.
Go ahead and roll your sneak attack. Let's hope it's not just another...
19.
Okay. So you're able to hit it a little bit. It does...
I told you not to look.
Gruck.
I'm curious about a couple of things.
Alright.
Basically, 2 questions that I would like to ask. Well, kind of asking of myself, but something that I'm looking at. One, is there anything different about Vol at all? Like, even the way he looks or the reflection of the dragon in his armor, if there is one. The reflection of Vol in the dragon's scale, if there is one.
Nothing abnormally different right yet. He looks like the normal Vol you've seen before. Nothing... Yeah.
And then, if possible, do I see anything, like if I look at the dragon, at the scales, like whether, the belly, so to speak, or the flanks, or the scales on the side, do I see anything there, or is it just dragon scale?
It's mostly dragon scale with everything there. There's nothing really abnormal about it outside of the fact that it looks like it's shifting and shadowy, just with a blue tint to it. It definitely has the look of a very familiar dragon you've seen before, but it is shifting and moving, and doesn't look like there's any abnormality. So if that's what you're looking for, I'm not sure exactly what you're looking for.
I'm not real sure either. That's what makes it hard to explain. I'm gonna do something a little odd.
All right.
Because its head is still between me and Zach, right?
Yes.
I'm gonna try to look it in the eye and say, "What is it you want?" And then I'm gonna take the dodge action.
You say that, it kind of glances back at you. Actually, before you take the dodge action, even, so you can choose to change that if you want to. There is one clear thing you can see in its eye. There is no intelligence behind it. It just seems bestial. I mean, you know what I mean, right? Like you look at
Yeah.
yeah. It's,
Yeah. Yeah,
So-
I will change it then. I'm just going to attack it.
Okay.
Like nobody's home.
And
Can I,
when you do
after...
when you do look in it and you see the no intelligence part, you do have this like momentary flash of an image, like a movie style of a memory in your head that's not yours. You can see through, you're not sure whose eyes, and you see you, Gruck, with the same look in your eye attacking Vol in the Hidden Shrine of Tomo-chan.
Huh.
And like I said, it's
Okay.
just a quick flash of a memory, and you're back.
Huh.
That is extremely interesting. Well, at the time of I was going to take a dodge action, I was going to still have my shield. Can I still set that aside to two-hand the axe?
Yeah.
Okay, then I will attack it with two hands on my axe. Ugh, God, that's terrible. I might have to up that.
Well, it is. You do have an advantage.
Oh.
Everybody has advantage right now, so
I completely forgot about that.
go ahead and roll again. Okay. 22 will hit.
Then I suppose 15 on that, and I might as well use a War Priest charge and do it again.
Okay.
Oh, I put that in there, by the way.
Oh, okay.
But thank you.
And yeah, that'll hit as well. So you get another good solid. You bam, bam, good 2 quick hits on it. It stops looking at Zach and it looks right back at you. Anger seems to be in its voice, or in its guttural, as it looks at you more. It looks like it tenses down a bit, like almost like it takes a deep breath in as it tenses down, and you expect a breath weapon, but as it does, it instead just kind of pushes into the ground, and lightning zaps from around it in all ways, hitting all of you. I'll need a dexterity saving throw from everyone, please.
My voice gives me super strength.
And don't forget, everybody is within 30 feet of Vol, so you do get a +3 to your dexterity save.
Hooray!
Hooray for Vol! Hooray for good saves! So you guys will take lightning damage, so Vol or Gruck, you will take full damage from this. Thank you, Jon Snow.
I want to participate.
Take half the damage.
I
Yay!
take none because I have evasion.
Thank God for evasion. So yeah,
You
you're
say I take full?
half.
Oh.
Like with rage, if he was just hitting you with his claw, you would have taken half the damage of the claw attack. So I'm just saying you don't get the damage reduction, but you still take
Right.
half the damage.
Right, okay.
So it zaps all around, and it goes to Vol's turn.
Hold on.
Ow.
There's an echo. Oh, fuck.
That hurt.
Spaz?
Yeah.
Spasm?
I'm okay.
Okay. Yeah, that's one higher than average damage, so that's a lot of damage.
That's a lot of damage.
You're all gonna be like, hey, let's go save Saxon. He kills all of you. Party wipe.
Alright, so Vol, what do you do?
I'm gonna attack him with my sword again.
Remember, you have advantage.
Oh yeah.
You don't
So-
need it.
Well, you don't need it, but there's a chance of critting, so...
Oh, true. Okay, well I'll do it normally for this one, and then
Okay, so the first one hits.
And then I'm gonna smite
Okay. On the first attack or the second one?
let's do the second one.
Okay, roll another attack with advantage, because that was your advantage roll for the first attack that you have.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, that'll hit too. Alright, go ahead and roll your smite.
And then was it 3d8?
Yes, if you're doing a second level.
Yep.
Alright, as he goes to smite, here's where something different happens for Vol. He, you can see his necrotic energy that you usually can feel almost. It's kind of, almost visual, but not. Here it is amplified. You see this dark energy pulse from his eyes first and roll down his arms into the sword as he strikes the second time. And as he does, he seems to, almost grow a little bit, and his, he has a more impressive presence for a moment. And you can feel undeath around him for a moment as he strikes through and hits clean. The thing is still standing, but it is very, very wounded. Zach.
I like this.
I'll stab it again. Hopefully.
Alright. Hopefully, yeah.
21.
Alright, so you kind of maneuver down, and you're able to stab. Give me your sneak attack with that. 19 damage total.
19.
Alright, so you're able to get a good hit. You come underneath its underbelly a little bit, and you get a nice little stab in there. The creature reacts very, very poorly, and is, stumbling a bit now. You can see the door open a little bit more.
Can I do a dagger attack as well?
You sure can.
Potentially 4 more damage? That's exactly 4 damage. Because but I don't hit.
So you do that, it stumbles a bit, and as it does, its head kind of swings towards you, and you just do a backhand spin and put the dagger right through the bottom of its jaw, and it puffs out in smoke. The shadow just kind of forms out in smoke and settles at the bottom of the room.
Matt, did I hit with an 8?
Yes.
You're kidding.
No.
Okay.
What?
I was like, I rolled 2 8s. Are you sure about that?
Yeah, I had it fall prone, so technically, it had no dex, no... 8 is fine. It only had 4 hit points left, dude. You roll a 4.
So exactly 4.
That's like that was too coincidental. I'm like, it's good. Storyline wise, it just sounds cool for you to be able to finish it off. So as the smoke fills on the ground, you see some of it enter the door, and the door actually opens at this point.
I'm the Batman of this universe.
Okay. First, it looks a lot like you're standing on the top of a very, very high mountain at dusk. And at the top of the mountain, as you look out, you can see all across what would appear to be the known universe. You see cities and fields and farms and oceans and ships. I mean, the amount of detail that you can recognize is unbelievable. And as you're looking at everything, and above you is, the brilliance of the dusk sky, it seems as though fires just appear as the shadow starts to, as the night shadow starts to slowly cross across the lands. Like, once they get into shadow, it's almost as though the cities or the fields or the farm animals or the people or the ships or what have you just is consumed almost by like an ember-like flame. And then everything just kind of goes black. Matt,
Yeah.
hang on. I'm going to type this out.
You said it was multiple, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's the first one.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. It just everything goes black as it reappears into whatever you're going to next. You can tell these are like more visions. Like the room itself is changing into these. It feels like so realistically. So go into the next one.
Okay. It looks as though you're standing in a graveyard that is unfathomably large. And towards the center of your line of sight, whichever direction it is you guys are looking, is a small group of people seated around an individual completely encased in shadow who seems to be reading from a book. And all of these people, and it looks as though some of them are rich, some of them are poor, all the races, it's, even though there's only about 20 people seated around this shadowy figure, it seems as though all of the races, all of the castes, all of the every type of person imaginable is there. And they're all seated haphazardly. There's no system to it. Does that make sense what I'm saying, guys?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. And they're just listening, and you can see in their eyes is filled with two competing emotions at the same time. One is abject horror, and the other is sincere, optimistic hope. And it all goes black again. The third vision is literally the exact opposite of the first. You're back on top of that mountain, and dawn is rising across the land. And as the light hits the various places, it seems as though the fires are put out.
And that's the end of it.
And that's the end of it. I could go through the same description, but it's basically
as
the
the
same
light
thing.
approaches the mountain point, it becomes brighter and brighter to the point that you actually all have to close your eyes to avoid the intensity of the light. And when you open your eyes again, you're in a new room. This room is small, yet large at the same time. The floor is a little sticky, so you look around and realize the floors, the walls, everything is made completely and utterly of web. Strands, thousands, millions of strands of webbing you're standing on that go out in all different directions as far as you can see, yet seem to have a closeness to them. You're looking around, and as you're looking, the web seems to go towards one direction, and your eyes eventually trail up to that area where you will see a spider. And when you're looking at the spider, at first it looks small, but as you're concentrating on it, you realize that it's just a little far away. You start moving towards it without even thought, almost as an impulse. And you realize that this thing is actually closer to the size of your mansion. It is abnormally huge, hairy. It's not a Black Widow style. It's more like a tarantula style, very large, imposing figure. It's millions of eyes looking all at you at once. You can see it working on making something. Shortly behind you, a little ways down, you can see a large door that looks large enough for this creature to be able to move through. And on it is a keyhole. No, all this stuff is made of web. You look at the creature again. What it's making seems to be a large key that would fit in there. You don't know why, but you know you must go through that door. What do you do?
Is the keyhole big enough so we can go through?
Almost. Almost. It looks like it is, but at the same time, you know it isn't. Dreams are really fun. I love surrealism.
Okay, who
Where
wants to
everything
talk
can
to
be
that thing?
Polar opposites at the same time.
I'm gonna wave and say hi, Saxon.
Spider will look at you quizzically.
I do the same.
I asked the spider if he's making the key for us.
Can the spider talk, Matt?
Yes. What happens is, you guys have had the sensation before as it talks. There's no lips for it to move. There's no way for it to vocalize things. But you've had the same invasion of your mind before as you hear Saxon's voice in your mind. Although this is definitely not Saxon's voice. As it speaks, you can hear all of it in your mind. All three of you at the same time.
I'm not. Do you want it?
Yeah.
We would like it if it will help us get through that door.
Are you going with us?
No.
I think it's more of a "can we go with you" kind of thing.
No, I have a job to do.
And what is that job?
Just kind of look around at all of the webbing. There seems to be a method to the madness of the way the web is created. It doesn't look like it's made to catch anything.
More like
But-
connect.
Yeah, more like connect.
I was going to say, it's definitely not mathematical, it's not laid out perfectly, everything is chaotic, but everything is connected.
It's like trying to explain Game of Thrones.
Sure.
It'd be like trying to explain Game of Thrones to a 2-year-old that only speaks Japanese.
Wow, that hurts.
Okie dokie, Dr. Jones. Wait, he was Chinese.
Way to be racist, man.
Yep, not touching that one.
Does it all form something?
Not that you can see. Not at your vantage point. Perhaps at the spiders it could. Perhaps above that even. You're not sure. But it probably forms something. You're sure of that. Just your perception cannot.
As
It looks like everything was built specifically, but it doesn't make any sense to you. You know, what's the name of that artist that paints with the dots?
I know who you're talking about, but I can't think of the name.
Does anybody else know who I'm talking about?
No.
I'm thinking of...
Like you don't have to know the name, but he paints like his entire giant painting is just tiny little dots that when you're sitting this close to it make absolutely no sense at all.
But if you back up 30 feet, you can see the image.
And it's beautiful.
Yeah. You're kind of getting that type of feel.
Oh, you mean that that perception painting where if you like look into it, or
the 3D thing?
if your focus shifts into it, then you can actually see what it is.
Kind of, but this one's more like you're too close to the image to see it.
Okay, fair enough.
So, like, Have you ever taken a picture on your computer and zoomed in all the way to where you can see the pixels?
I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the kind of thing it is. You're only seeing a very small portion of it, and it makes no sense. You're just seeing haphazard stuff, but like I said, perhaps pulled away you can see more. But it doesn't make sense, but it probably has a system to it.
Can I fly up?
You could try.
If you're trying to fly up, can I go with you?
Sure, I'll try.
You keep moving up, and no matter how far you go up, it doesn't seem to make sense yet. You get to the point that you can see the spider coming smaller. You get to the point that you know that you need to start heading back down. But it never seems to make sense. It seems to go on forever. It's hard to actually reach the edge of this.
as
You
all that's
have
going
almost a
on,
feeling as you're going up that this, if you want to compare it to a work of art, it's not yet completed.
Oh, okay.
That's the best way to put it. Now what, Gruck?
I was going to say, while they're doing that and the spider is still working on the key, I'm going to say, I always knew you were very meticulous.
Thank you.
So I fly back down, and I ask him if he will help us get through the door, or did he already answer that?
You asked if the key was for them, or for you guys. You didn't ask him if he'd help you.
Are you asking, will I help you?
Yeah.
It's up to you, though.
You get the feeling... Okay, I'm going to ask this question, but then I want an insight check from everybody. What's in it for me?
Oh, thank God for a huge insight, Jesus.
27, Jesus. And 23.
That's actually probably good enough for everybody because you've all spent enough time around Saxon. You get the feeling the spider's fucking with you.
What?
That
Which
he
way?
wouldn't be making this key if you guys weren't here. And this is exactly the kind of shit that Saxon lives to do.
Fuck with people?
Yeah,
Or do things for other people.
fuck with people.
Possibly do things for other people. I don't
Can't
really know
possibly
what's
do
going-
things for other people.
That's why I asked.
Saxon's mind is a place.
I don't know what he does at night. Maybe he does favors for people.
Lady
Once-
favors.
As he completes the key, he's going to basically connect a web strand from where you guys are and drag it towards the door.
The spider will also at that point get there and raise the key up slowly, insert it
Hold
because
on.
it's way higher up than you guys could reach, and the key is honestly larger than you guys. Like the key
Can I
is
ask
the
a
size
question?
of a ship. Yeah.
What's behind the door?
That might actually be the response. I'm not sure.
There's another door.
Was that the
I
response?
don't-
Oh, okay.
I actually don't know how to respond to that right away.
That's why I was thinking maybe just a laugh.
No, because I'm trying to play the spider is more just asking questions. Like, responding to your question with a question.
What, like some kind of sphinx?
Kind of. He's bored, basically.
So
What are you hoping to find behind a door?
he says as he has the key all the way up to the keyhole, and he's looks back and asks the question.
I don't respond. I nod, and I go through.
He pushes the key in and turns it. As he does, it feels like the whole webbing gives out from underneath you as you guys start to fall into darkness.
I fly.
You
Just
fall.
kidding. I fly fall.
He said you fall.
You try to fly, but as you do, you just fall down faster. There's no sense of direction. You just know that you guys are going. It feels like things are moving past you in a very quick way. As it's happening, you guys will all see this happen. It's like this image, almost like a TV screen going by you, taking up the entire area. A hologram, maybe? A vision, call it that, as you're going by. The first one you'll see is the image, and this is from the point of view of Saxon, and you see him looking down, holding a body that's badly beaten and bruised. Vol, Gruck, you will recognize the scene immediately as being on a ship.
I did.
When he,
I remember.
when he was torturing. And he looks up at Gruck, who is standing in the way like, you're not getting past. And as you guys are looking at that, the image passes behind you. The next image you see is Saxon. You can see his hand just before his before your the eye as he's leaning on it. You can see Warwick in the distance, the outline of him as he's invisible, and you can hear Saxon say, "Well, perhaps we won't get even for now. This could turn out to be more interesting." That's not something you guys had seen before. Vol, you know it's about you, though. You don't know why. And then you realize why. Exactly why. When you see a giant pile of manure in the back corner of his old dingy apartment. As that vision goes flying by.
I laugh.
The next vision... Vol's laughing. The next vision you see... I don't remember which point we chose for Zach on this. I remember what the point was, but I don't remember the situation. I want to say
It was just he was asleep. It was at night. I was looking over him.
Okay. Yeah.
That's creepy.
So
That's creepy.
in the middle of the night, you're asleep in your bed, Zach, and you can see, and you know it's from Saxon's point of view, looking down at you. Warwick is sitting at the edge of the bed, looking at you as well, kind of propped up, his hands on his chins as they're both just watching. And Saxon mutters,
Paranormal activity.
"You must become less impulsive." And you can feel this overwhelming sense of disappointment as that vision passes on by. The ground seems to come up extremely quickly, but you're already on the ground. As you guys look around, and you're on this stone platform that seems to go on far past the eye's recognition. You look around. There's the area you're at is lit, but there's no light source, and there's a single well that seems to be in between you all. You look into it. The water is rippling by itself with no movement. You know, there's nothing causing the movement, but there's little ripples in the pond. Well, it seems to be larger than it is, and you can see an image inside it. And this image is this very weird combination of what you guys have read in Illithid is, a mind flare, you know, the tentacles, and Saxon almost merged together. You see Saxon's face, red in complexion and everything, but with the tentacles coming down. This otherworldly presence. His body seems to be free-flowing, but solid. It's just nothing makes sense, but you know you're looking down at Saxon.
So Saxon's really a mind flayer?
Or a dragon.
Or a mind flayer?
Or a Saxon.
Or a demon, or a Saxon, or a spider, or a Warwick. You're not sure at this point.
Or a clown named Pennywise? Who knows?
Possibilities exist.
Nah, Pennywise is a
awesome.
bitch. I'd be the turtle.
As you guys look in there, you can feel this tingling in the back of your head, which you usually get right before Saxon starts to talk with his other ability.
The storytelling?
You can hear one question permeating in your mind, and you guys realize instantly that each of you has to answer this. The question is?
What are you afraid of? I'll tell you what, I'll give you guys a second to think about this. I'm going to go zap my back right quick. Because we have 45 minutes before I have to go.
Yep.
What does he mean, zap his back?
I'm not sure.
It's probably...
Unless I'm not mistaken, he's got like this little fucking deal with a battery that he straps to his back, and it's like a massager, but it's, I don't know, something like that.
Yeah, I honestly don't know.
I've seen him use it once before. It's like it's like one of those like Bengay pads or something that you can put on your back. Only it's not Bengay or anything like that. It's it's got like little freaking nub things to it, and it's just like a mini massager, and you can just put it directly onto a spot on your back. I've seen him use it once before. I'm not sure what it's called, and I've never used it, so I'm not. But it's like a little mini massager that's got a battery attached to it. That's the only thing I think of.
You guys do have a moment to discuss this beforehand if you guys want to, or you can just straight up answer when he gets back. You do realize that when you do, you have to be looking into the pool to answer it, so... If you guys are looking at each other, you're not answering it.
Trying to decide whether or not to be a smart ass.
What are you afraid of? What causes fear in
Dragons!
yourself?
Dragons!
Dragon.
I'm not sure how to answer this question.
It must be answered, though.
Master?
Why do I
First
feel like this is pretty much telling Saxon our deepest fears,
It
and then
could
he's gonna
be.
fuck with us?
Yeah.
Well, effectively, the first thing you have to ask yourself is whether or not you're going to choose to answer it honestly. And to that, I would say he has given us a small insight into his own mind. It would probably be considered fair play to give him an insight into our own.
True.
Do with that as you will.
Hopefully he's back pretty quick.
I can already see him starting to relax and falling asleep.
Yeah, that'd be bad.
Yeah.
Is this what he was doing last week?
No, last week he had something going on. What was he doing last week?
Oh.
Oh, construction.
He couldn't sleep.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
Oh yeah. I remember that.
Okay. I was about to
Okay.
text you.
No, I'm sorry. I needed to throw that thing on.
So, like, you're like,
And-
what, electrocuting yourself, or what?
Yeah, they Icy Hot and a couple of other places make a pad that you can put on your back that shoots electrodes
Okay.
Oh yeah.
into it and tries to loosen the muscles.
Okay.
The only problem is, in order to put that on, I have to take my shirt off, and I didn't want to do that on camera.
Fair enough.
Thank you.
So, who wants to answer first?
Yeah.
Like I said, you have to just look into the pond. or the well, whatever you want to call it, and answer. By the way, you have the feeling that this is the last part. Like, this is actually talking to his soul. Apparently, because you guys are here to try to get his soul back. And apparently he has boiled everything down to this, on if he's coming back or not.
I feared nothing until I realized that I had this goal, and my biggest fear now is not obtaining my goal.
As Vol finishes answering, you can see he like turns to smoke and vanishes. You'll wake up in the room. Fine. Looking around, you can see. Oh yeah, I should describe it because you weren't there for the beginning. Saxon's body is in the middle. Apparently, this is like Jon Snow. Somebody's apparently is near your head or his head. You are 10 feet above his head, and there are two people at an angle. You guys are forming a triangle around him. Runes around the ground. Runes around where your heads were.
I mean, it's a little bit different, but it's what the scene reminded me of.
So,
yeah, that's perfect.
So, yeah, and I have not seen that, so, note that. Yeah, so you wake up there. You can see the other two are still in a trance. There is a mage above you. His hands are like this, above your head, and when you come out, he looks at the other two, a little surprised that you're out.
Do I feel any different at all?
It's jarring coming back to reality. You were trapped, but you had freedom. You were constricted, but you were able to move there. And here, it's just, you feel like you're trapped in your own body now for a moment. It takes a few breaths before you start to adjust and realize that you're back in, the material plane. Who's answering next?
I'm trying to decide on how to word it.
So, Zach, if you have yours, go for it.
I'm going last.
Because I want it to make sense, but I'm not sure if I can. I'm not sure if I can make it make sense.
Then just say it.
You okay?
Perhaps it'll make sense to Saxon.
Like Vol, I fear failing in my own expectations, but more so than that, I fear losing sight of my mother.
Like Vol, when you finish saying that, you smoke, and up here in the room, the jarring experience, everything, just like he had. And Zach,
Does Zach even know what's going on?
Zach's
everyone just disappeared.
answering their question and disappearing.
That's funny.
Zach,
Yeah.
you're standing in the room, alone, pond. Saxon looking up at you from the pond.
I fear losing sight of my objective, finding something else more important, more worthy than what I have planned already.
Alright, and when you say that, you fade back to reality. We're going to take a quick break, because my wife is standing here looking at me, and I need to figure out what's going on. So we're going to take a quick, 2 to 5 minute break, and we will be right back. I did. I'm a horrible, filthy liar, apparently.
You had one job. One job.
Twice even.
Yep. Because I said 5 minutes, 30 seconds, and 2 seconds. Oh. All right. Saxon. You can whisper me the answer if you want, and I'll roleplay it through.
I'm thinking.
All right.
LOC, Zach, if you're afraid of losing sight of your objective because you find something more important, yeah, you should probably stay away from drugs. You will be swept up in something that you weren't ready for.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean I find it important.
Nothing is more important than Grut's plans.
I'm going to help you, most likely.
Except Vol's plans, and Saxon's plans, and Zach's plans. And...
Well, not to Grut, anyway.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I mean, they may be important to you, but not to me. Not necessarily.
No, I mean, I can't imagine why they would be, but... Come on, say no. Say no. Say no. Except for then we'd have to probably bring in somebody completely different. It'd just be another jackass.
Another jackass.
Well, it is Pink playing it, so...
I mean, yeah, it's guaranteed it's going to be a jackass either way.
Well, no, not necessarily a jackass. Could be an asshole.
I don't know. I mean, that's not a big distinction right there.
All right. So you guys are all back, looking around. You sit up. You can see the cleric still chanting. You will be informed by the wizards that you guys have been in there for 59 minutes. And even though that roleplay took quite a bit longer, and you felt like, honestly, it felt like it was a week that you were in there.
I think I have gray hair now, or something. Anyway.
I mean, for what it's worth, I mean, every time we interact with Saxon, it does seem to just drag on.
He's a drama queen, isn't he?
King, sure, yeah. Or just drama. He's just drama.
He's just drama.
He is the essence of drama. The entity of drama.
That actually is my fear. Drama. I hate drama. Not that, Pink doesn't have enough of it in his life anyway.
Yeah.
So, you guys will be sitting there. The guy will finish chanting about a minute after all three of you have come out. You can see the diamond on his forehead glowing for a moment, and it sinks into his head. Like,
Damn it!
Translucent and sinks in. He goes, well, now we wait to see if it is accepted or not.
Fucking
Regardless,
better,
when he's done casting, that material component is gone. Like,
I was just gonna say.
Yeah, it's gone. So, regardless of if he accepts or not, you guys are standing there looking at his body for a good 30 seconds before he just... and his eyes jar open. Saxon is back.
Pansy.
To tell you the truth, I was expecting inside his mind a big bad monster or something keeping his soul.
No.
No.
No, I thought that was very interesting indeed.
It took a little bit more writing than some things, so... Because I wanted to give a nice, interesting glimpse into his mind without being too... revealing.
Interesting.
So, that and I love Dream State games. They're just so much fun. Anyway.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he's back. Sits up. Saxon, you remember everything that happened. Like, it was as if you were there, watching the entire time. It was as if you were Warwick, as if you were the spider, as if you were, well, Saxon.
So is Warwick here too then?
Not yet, but he will be. He has to perform a ritual to get him back.
So then will we be able to see him then, or?
Well,
I mean, I doubt it.
unless he comes back invisible.
I've seen your monkey.
Messenger monkey.
I'm not sure how to take that.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like,
I mean,
that
it could
sounds
be-
so
it could
wrong.
be-
I don't know
you
if that's
It could
something
be
I would claim.
sexual, it could be racist. I mean, that could be damn near everything in the book.
Yeah. Oh, gay.
Messenger monkey.
Well, can you walk?
Matt?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You are completely restored. It is going to take you a little bit to fully feel the effects of living again. But,
Need me to carry you again?
No, thank you.
let's see.
Is anybody still alive?
One guy.
Now everybody's still alive.
Basically, you have a -4 on all rolls that have to do
For
with
how
each
long?
one, until you've had a long rest, and then
Okay.
and then it reduces by 1. So it'll take 4 days to get rid of it completely for you to be over the resurrection sickness.
That's fair. I mean, the assholes who shot me.
Oh, well,
That's
there's
why I
one of
said
them.
one.
Where?
At home, waiting for us.
Actually, the one that shot you is actually the one that's still there alive. Or no, it's not. That's the one that missed. The one that actually shot you is dead. Very
Oh.
dead.
It doesn't matter. Well, I'm gonna go throw up,
Sorry.
and then we're gonna go home.
No beer.
There are guards outside the temple right now that have been stationed to help guard here. They are actually from the council group. Specifically, they are guards from... what was his name?
Peggy?
Gareth?
Gareth, yes. They're guards from... they're his personal guards. He sent about half of his force here to guard Saxon and to escort you guys back to the docks.
Does
Is
anyone
there-
seem?
Captain of said guards.
Not here, but the sergeant that's in charge is there.
That's Yeah.
The guy in charge.
who's the
Well,
person in charge.
Yeah.
Is kind of what
Yeah,
I'm
the
going
captain
for.
of the guard is actually still with Garrett. He is, he doesn't leave him. But the sergeant, the second in command, is here. So.
Does
Alright,
anyone
when
seem
we-
disappointed?
No. They seem relieved, actually.
Can I insight check that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Natural 20.
Yeah, they actually all seem very relieved. They do have the crest of the Merchants Guild on them, or the Merchants Consortium. Sorry, the Merchants Consortium, and they are personal guards to the council member for the Merchant Consortium. So, they will greet you as you all exit. There is 6 guards altogether, including the sergeant. 4 of them are typical guards. They're, armor, shield, spear. One of them does seem to be a little more... He's, up against the wall leaning, and he's sitting there with a little... And he's whittling on something, some wood. He has a longbow next to him. He's wearing darker clothing. Doesn't look like he's wearing armor. Kind of looks over at you guys. And the one that is in charge, the sergeant, is actually a mage.
I'm going to thank everybody personally.
By the way, Gruck, you did take the 1,500 gold out of the party fund, right?
I'm pretty sure.
Okay, just double check.
Yeah, I did because it's down to 66 now. It was 8,000 something.
Alright.
8, 9, or whatever it was.
It's a good thing you guys had a party fund.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, you thank everybody as you're going on. They will escort you quietly, although the mage will say, "Welcome back, Lord Saxon. It is nice to hear that you are back. the Lord will be very happy to hear that as well.
Before we get on the boat, unless there's roleplay anybody would like to do before we get on the boat.
Think you're good?
Not that I can do.
I got nothing.
I'm going to tell the sergeant. I will thank him again. Ask him to pass along my thanks to. Fuck. What was the guy's name?
Garrett?
Garrett. Okay, fair enough. Ask him to pass along my thanks for his services to Lord Garrett and invite him to dine
Galvin.
with me,
His name is Galvin.
Galvin.
so that I might show my gratitude whenever would be most convenient for him.
Nods. I will pass it on. And they will make sure you're on the
And then
they stay on
before
the dock.
we get on the boat,
Okay.
hang on. As I'm talking to him, I need to make sure I have what I think I have. Yes, perfect. I'm going to put 100 gold piece gem in this guy's hand and tell him to treat the soldiers for me.
He will nod. We will raise cups in your honor.
I will bow.
For 2 weeks. Straight.
For many nights. Yeah, considering they can all have a very good night for 5 gold. Yeah, that's going to be many nights of revelry.
That's the idea. I'm basically buying allegiances.
All right, so they will wait on the dock as you guys get there on the ship, and they will wait till you are out of the cove. You can notice they're making sure nobody follows you before they actually depart the docks even. It won't take very long for you guys to get back to the manor. Boris and Ambrosia are very happy you have returned. Peggy is passed out drunk in the entryway. Like, literally, the door can't shut to the front door because he is passed out in the middle.
Before we get back, can I tell something on the way back?
Absolutely.
I tell Saxon, oh, by the way, your guests know that you're not a dragon.
Then they're as stupid as I thought they were.
I also have a question.
Yes.
Do you remember anything after death?
To what are you referring?
Like the whole, like the light at the end of the tunnel, anything like that, anything going to death? Did you go anywhere? Or is it just blackness?
He's asking that while rowing. Vol's the one rowing with his extra string.
I don't know, Matt. Do I?
Do you remember everything that happened at today's events? You remember hearing the magic mouth and everything going black? You could feel your soul being tugged between like 3 or 4 different locations. Until they entered that area, everything was just disconnected and chaotic, and you weren't able to make sense of it until they arrived. When they arrived, everything made sense to you. And you were watching everything from there on.
Okay. Do I really seem like the kind of guy who's going to see a light at an end of a tunnel?
Well, I didn't actually mean that. Like, I was just trying to explain what I meant.
With Vol, it probably is more like, did you cross the river Styx? Did you see the ferrymen?
Yeah.
No.
Huh. Okay. Actually, I have a question about that really quick. So, how does it all work with who decides who goes where? Like, if you're from Previa, do you go to the Previan death?
It depends on who you serve. The god you serve is the one who gets your soul. Unless the Raven Queen finds you interesting, then you might get snatched.
Huh. Okay.
The Raven Queen is kind of the thing that fucks it all up.
Yeah.
the gods you serve and I are not exactly on the greatest of terms, so I doubt very much I would wind up in their underworld.
Huh. All right. Well, then, never mind.
What about Ares? Do you have anything against him?
I don't have anything against him.
Did you
Do you
do
have any-
anything against him?
To the best of my knowledge.
Quick question, Vol. What did you do with the holy symbol pendant that you had?
I pocketed it.
Okay.
I show it.
Well, you don't
I
have
guess.
to. I was just curious.
I mean, I don't know. My thought is that they were mercenaries, but that'll take some looking into. Zach did mention something about them.
All right.
I forget what that was though.
You were killed by fanatics from a cult.
Yeah, and like a pretty special one at that.
Yeah,
Which
very
cult?
hard to find.
Very obscure.
Cult of the Hand, I think it was.
Ares' hand.
Yeah.
Can I roll into like an insight check, intelligence check?
History check is what it would be. It has been referenced before. Mini Pravian, like in the past, a lot of senators and people even before the split of the lands, political figures that were assassinated, was attributed to the hand. Ares' hand. They're just called the hand in Pravia, but outside of Pravia, they are referred to as Ares' hand because there's actually multiple groups that refer to themselves as the hand, including yourselves now.
Yeah, I was just gonna say.
Oh shit! I forgot about
Maybe
that.
that's why they
But
hate our name.
how long will it take before we are the only one
Hand.
called the Hand?
Depends on
Well.
how quickly you get to work at it.
There are so many hands. We shall cut off some.
Now, in my opinion, personally, it wouldn't surprise me if they're just a obscure band of mercenaries.
All of
At
them.
the very least, I would consider that a possibility.
So the big question is who hired them?
Yep.
Because that was a professional hit.
Certainly, they were efficient.
Between the
Peg,
anti-magic
lean
field-
over the
anti-magic field,
boat,
magic mouth,
throw up again.
Yeah, you do because you're getting seasick. But yeah, but between the anti-magic field, the magic mouth, that was the place they had decided to assassinate. 100%. Like that was pre-chosen and planned, and quickly, in fact, because you guys just came back that day. Nobody knew you were coming back until you came through the Mystic Sanctum.
That was
So not only that, but they are connected. Those are things you guys would have gleaned from this and know.
how fast did that happen? Like 5 minutes in?
About 5 to 10 minutes after you guys came back. You do have some paperwork to fill out when you get back, so you know it was literally within about 10 minutes of you guys arriving back in Seaport that he was shot.
I think we need to find this kid.
Well, there's another route to go, because we might need to involve the kid, but I think first it might be warranted just to simply go ask, I
Zerat.
guess our friend, whether or not the message was legitimate or not. That's probably as good a place to start as any.
True. And if it wasn't, it may be worthwhile to talk to the kid, but my assumption is that he was acting out of ignorance.
I would be surprised if he knew anything. That'd be
I want to
very
know who
surprised.
told him to do it. That's what I want to know.
That's what I'm saying. We could
Yeah,
talk.
we could talk
Right.
to him. I find it unlikely that he would know anything.
Basically, Saxon is saying, don't hold it against the kid. It's probably not his fault.
Fuck it, let's kill him.
Vol's on a murder spree. He's like, I'm going full
I'm
on murder hobo, yo.
No.
I just
You know
want
what's
to
funny?
stab things.
That night after I killed that hobo, I saw a video about murder hobos, and I was like, this is weird.
Flashback deja vu.
For what it's worth, another thought that comes to mind as well is that if I'm right about these guys just being mercenaries, then considering how good they were, how effective they were, and the short time that they would have had to put their plan into motion, they are also very expensive, which does limit how many people or organizations would be willing to put up that kind of money, let alone have it.
Like
The other question we have to ask is whether or not they're going to try again.
Especially depending on who it was.
Mm-hmm.
The
I'm
possibilities
really-
that come to mind already is Zerat, even though I find it unlikely. The council is a maybe, and it could very well be the people we just accepted into our home.
Yeah, but think
I
about
think-
it. There,
That would have been a little, I don't know. I feel like it would have been a bad move on their part.
One
that
of them is
quickly,
from
but
Pangaea.
one of
It's
us
also
I mean, one of us is from Pavia too. Pavia,
And we just left our prisoner
is one of
alone.
I mean, yeah, whether or not they're involved, we might find out depending on what, happens when we get back to the house. But,
it's
was just
possible that
a
the
thought.
Purple Flame Gang was involved. There are a fair number of people who would probably profit with my demise. The two questions we got to find out is, number one, who? Number two, am I still on a hit list? Because technically, they failed.
you mean succeeded?
I'm still
Because you
alive.
did
Now,
die.
is this
Yeah,
conversation
but you did
happening
die.
as you guys are getting back to the mansion, or is this on the boat?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm guessing like on the boat or something.
All right. As you guys, I'm assuming this is like happening as you guys are walking in. Boris greets you and heads on his way, trying to get his cousin to go back to bed. Ambrosia does stick around with you guys as you guys are talking about this. So, she will take you down to the basement. It is deep enough in there that the meeting room you guys are wanting to set up should be free of all but the highest level scries. Because there's enough dirt and stone to block it. A thin layer of lead will stop anything but a god from hearing what you're saying when you guys have a chance to coat that. But it is the safest room in the house to talk, and she will stay in there, actively casting see invisibility and a few other things to make sure that there is nothing actively scrying or peeking. So she will be privy to this conversation, but she's doing so to protect you guys.
That's fine. When we see Ambrosia, I'm going to greet her cordially, which is probably something I've never done.
Well, she greets you back, a little surprised, but doesn't make too big of a deal of it. One of the things she will say when you guys say that last part, though, when he says if they, because technically they failed, and she'll say, unless they're sending a message.
Or that. Where's our friend?
He's down the hall.
How's the potion coming?
I have all but the last piece of the ingredients for you, and it will be another 2 days probably till it's here, and then a day of brewing. Which is good because I don't have the lab set up for at least 2 days.
No, I'm talking about truth serum.
Oh,
We don't need it.
That'll take a day at most to make.
I did work with her one day.
Yeah, but you're using a very small, portable kit, not an actual lab, so it's taking a lot longer to percolate different things. You don't have multiple stations, and you got all the ingredients ground up and everything put together, but it takes a certain amount of time to actually get everything put together. You guys are currently in this room here. That's the room you guys were wanting to make your scry-free room. She has the prisoner over here.
I don't see anything. I just have a completely blank page.
Does anybody see anything?
Only
Yeah,
person.
mine's good.
Okay, I'm gonna refresh then.
Okay. So.
I was just checking.
And And actually, technically, she would have them locked. Probably, it doesn't even matter. It's one of these rooms, not this room up here, because she's currently turning this room and this room into something. So it may be this room that she's putting them into. I don't know. There's some chain. Like, these all were originally dungeons, so there's chains on the walls and everything. So.
Alright.
But he's in the basement nonetheless.
Is there anything else before I get to work?
You should probably rest up first.
You should probably let him rest up first. I've heard of your handiwork. He'll need a little more health.
Yeah,
I'm just going to
right.
go introduce myself.
Just note he is a knife thrust away from death.
And
Oh,
very
and
suicidal.
He doesn't have a tongue.
What do you mean doesn't have a tongue?
He doesn't need one. I'm not going to ask him any questions yet.
I'm just making sure you know it. We had to remove it. He tried to swallow it.
That's
Again?
fair.
The first time. He was dead. I'm trying to fill him in.
Oh. Yeah, but I thought that the first time he got his teeth knocked in.
Yeah.
Not his tongue.
Actually, you know what? That's fine.
He has no teeth either. He was pretty determined.
He has no arms or legs either.
Oh, he is so tied up.
Is
Like, his fingers are all broken individually, tied up behind his back. His feet are bound. He has no teeth, no tongue.
okay. You know, that's fair. I'll give him a couple of days to stew. Can we make sure he's properly fed and watered? I don't want him starving.
I am, yeah. I have talked to Seer, and I'm having him make sure that he is fed and watered. He's forcing good berries down his throat. 3 a day, actually, trying to keep him a little bloated. I don't understand why, but he says it's a good thing when you're going to be tortured to be bloated. Either way, Seer's point on that, I don't.
Fair enough. I'm going to go get Warwick, and then I'm going to go to sleep. Being dead sucks. Ugh. And as I'm getting ready to walk out of the room, I will turn, I will look at everybody. Thank you. And then I'll
You're
turn and
welcome.
walk away.
After he walked away, I look at Greg. Did he get soft? Or is it just age?
No,
Ambrosia
Just
shrugs. Death gives perspective?
just acknowledging.
Ah,
That's not
Well,
question,
that's
it's being
good to know.
nice.
that's weird.
Don't jinx it.
That chicks it.
Ambrosia's pretty adamant about that.
I get up and just go to my room.
I'll.
As you're leaving, Gruck, after I am finished with everything for Zach, which will take about 2 to 3 days, did you want me to finish this room with some of the party funds? I know
What?
this was one of the priorities you guys put on it.
Is she talking about the meeting room?
Yes.
Yeah. And I suppose with the recent developments, yeah, we might as well put a rush on that.
So she will work on that next. She just wanted to know because otherwise she was going to go back to working on other places in the manor to get a working order. But she, she's basically trying to do all the house stuff for you guys. So
Yeah.
which is hard. And I'm not talking cleaning. I'm talking repairing walls, fixing doors. Like, cause she has spells to do stuff with. So.
I'll be working on the potions. While I'm still here, you can just go and renovate.
Yes, it's going to take, like I said, 2 days to get the lab set up the rest of the way.
It's fine. It's going to take me 4 days to get in tip-top shape to go start interrogating.
All right, so this is what we're going to call it.
And then one more thing.
I'd like to do. Yes.
I'm going to put a bolo, basically, like a police one, on a book. that I'm looking for.
Okay, a bolo on what book?
I'm going to. Can I make a history check
Yeah.
first? I'm so bad at history. So.
The Book of the Dead.
Natural 20, okay. That's exactly what I needed. I'm looking for a book of. I'm going to type it.
Okay, that's fine. Anyway, like I was saying, we're gonna call it here. Usually, I like to leave it on a cliffhanger. This week is not going to be so. This is kind of a calm week. You guys will have, you guys will have at least the 4 days of nothing happening. If you guys want more time than that, this is entirely up to you guys. We're gonna have a little downtime, so you guys can think about what you wanted to do over this next week. So, yeah.
Also, as soon as I get into my room, I'm going to cast the ritual to get Warwick back.
Okay. I assume that you are not leaving the manor for at least 4 days.
I will not be, but if anybody is willing to, I have a request.
If it involves going to Seaport, I would be open. Or I would have ears open.
All I got was S
Okay.
from Zach.
I would like to speak to Zyrit.
That is
Just you or all of us?
It doesn't matter, but he's going to have to come here.
that's something that can be arranged. And there will be some roleplay that'll take place over the next 4 days, since the Gladys Mortium is still staying at your manor.
The Gladys Mortium, the
Gladius-
other guys?
Yeah, the other
Yeah,
guys.
that-
That's their
that
that's their
group.
group name is the Gladius Mortium.
Okay.
You will be informed by Boris or Ambrosia, if the party doesn't tell you, that that Bones and Phoenix showed up following Warwick via his to try to assist. Phoenix actually is the reason. Okay, they'll tell you a blow by blow for it eventually, but basically there was a point where Gruck gets in the face of one of them, hits hold person on it. Phoenix appears and does a controlled fireball right on the guy. And since he was held person, like, he literally couldn't dodge, so he took full damage of the fireball. And
Nice.
Gruck didn't take anything because he just kind of shaped it around him. So, like, they came and they were aiding you, and Bones is trying to get you back up as quick as he could, but he doesn't have Revivify, so he couldn't bring you back. Like, they were trying to save you. So, you will be informed that they at least acted in the best intentions for you, whether that is true or not. Because right now, Ambrosia's a little suspicious of everything.
That's fair.
So,
Then,
And
yeah.
who is
I will be after today. Like, I want the first day in my room by myself. After today, I will be willing to have a conversation with anybody that needs to have a conversation with me. I would like Zyra to come and visit us, but I also want to make sure, and I will say this to Gruck specifically if he's going to Seaport, do this after these guys leave.
they're planning on being here for at least 4 or 5 days, unless they find information, in which case they will leave.
Okay. If it takes 5 or 6 days, that's fine. I've got some interrogating to do. If it takes, a while, but I want to make sure that Zyra and these guys are not in the same place at the same time.
Alright. They will, that's something we can work on. Zach, just so you know, it is achievable for you to get that, but the only books written on that specific topic are actually
cursed or something.
No, they're actually written in a language that's no longer spoken. It's been assimilated as part of Common. I kind of see Common as English, where it literally steals words from every other language. So, there's parts of it that'll be readable, but it is in an ancient tongue from Zahur. So you will need a translation book to go along with it. It's just like if somebody reads Latin, it's not a spoken language anymore, but it can still
So
be
I
read.
have ways without involving someone else to actually
Yes.
understand what's that book.
Yes. Now, they are also collector's items typically, and they're not legal to trade in most countries. So
Understandable.
it'll take a little time for them to procure it, But it's most likely with the translation book going to run you in excess of 100 gold for that item.
What? Only 100?
Only 100. It's probably a copy, not an original.
I don't care if it's a copy. I just want to make sure the contents are original.
If you want the original, like one of the original copies of it and everything from the ancient time, that's getting into the thousands to tens of thousands golds depending on the quality. But to get a copy of it, they run about 100 gold. So
I want the real information.
It'll probably take about 2 weeks or so to acquire that information or to acquire the book. Maybe longer, depending on if they have to have somebody actually make the copy. So,
they can actually acquire it?
A book for they're sure they can. There's a lot of people that collect this type of occult things. Something similar to it, at least some of the old ones. There's at least 6 books that are known along those topics that all are from Zahur, but finding a copy of it is the issue. But they could probably do it.
If they can't find a copy, can they at least find some information about it, like how to find it or something?
Yeah, like you'll need 2 weeks basically to get any information, and that's going to be coming down to a roll. But you will know that they exist. Is my point on the whole with your history check and everything.
What kind of roll?
Actually, it's going to be investigation rolls from the people that are looking for it for you.
Okay.
So it'll come down to a skill check, basically. But, yeah. So we'll meet up next week. Good game, everyone. Welcome back, Saxon.
Boo.
And